from it. Here now is more.
Tearing up my life when I'm with you.
Well, NSync may have been busy tearing up hearts on stage at the Video Music Awards last week, but off stage, the band was allegedly tearing up contracts. Just hours before this performance, the group, apparently dissatisfied with the financial terms of its record deal, left its label, RCA, for the literally greener pastures of Jive, and a deal reportedly worth some $12 million.
This was very confusing to people because their deal with RCA wasn't up yet.
Indeed, the move has industry types asking, how can a band at the height of its career simply walk away from unfulfilled contractual obligations to a record company? As for the fans,
we want the guys' album to come out now. I'm really anxious, yeah, because I didn't like that Christmas one too much. Yeah, I hope this one's a lot better.
Well, the fans want to know how the label change might affect that highly anticipated and ironically titled No Strings Attached album that was slated for November.
Typically, a band would not be able to release a record on a different label. The first label would go to court and secure an injunction, preventing the release of that record, claiming that the band was legally obligated to them.
In fact, earlier this week, BMG, RCA's parent company, issued a swift and terse statement that promised to, quote, enforce RCA's rights vigorously. A prolonged legal battle could be perilous for a pop act like NSync.
NSync are trying to capitalize on the youth market. They're a young band, they have a certain look, they have a certain sound, and if their legal battle isn't settled until 10 years from now, you know, are we going to feel the same way about NSync as we do now? Probably not. So I would assume that NSYNC's got good legal representation and they've thought through how long they think it would realistically take to do battle and get this settled.
Sources close to NSYNC claim that the band is on strong legal footing thanks to contractual loopholes and clerical errors that free the band not only from RCA, but also from Transcontinental Media, the Orlando-based boy band factory, owned by teen pop Svengali Louis Pearlman, who acted as the band's business manager.
Backstreet looks at me as a sixth Backstreet Boy. I think NSYNC looks at me, you know, also as a big papa. I think that they all know that what I've done is from sincerity, from the heart.
We learned a lot from Lou just in the beginning. Just talking over, like, percentages and how things work, how management deals work, how record deals work.
Well, it seems that the band paid close attention to those lessons. Like the Backstreet Boys did less than a year ago, NSYNC, apparently unhappy with financial arrangements, are now reportedly attempting to sever ties with the man responsible for discovering and grooming them.
Do you guys own the NSYNC name?
Yeah. As far as we know.
God willing.
Yeah, we read our contracts, yeah, we do.
Well, apparently, guys, you didn't read the fine print. In fact, Transcon actually owns the name NSync, so look for lots of legal wrangling all the way around.
More than likely, Jive and RCA would come to some kind of mutual arrangement, and they'd probably work out some sort of arrangement so that they could both profit, as opposed to just putting this band on ice while they fought about it.
Still, NSYNC's manager Johnny Wright has already told MTV News that the band's nearly completed sophomore effort will definitely not hit stores before the year 2000. Now, if some are questioning NSYNC's decision to leave RCA, others are questioning the decision to go to Jive, which is already home to Britney Spears and that other boy band.
If I were NSYNC, I would rather be on a label that didn't have the Backstreet Boys already. I'd rather be on a label that would treat me as a unique new property. But you could argue that, well, look at what Jive Records has done for the Backstreet Boys. There's not a label out there that's going to understand better how to market and promote NSYNC.
And speaking of which, how exactly do the Backstreet Boys, who reportedly left Transcon, at least in part to get away from NSYNC, feel about the arrival of their new label mate? Sources say they're not happy. Still, when we caught up with NSYNC just a couple weeks ago, the band, which has apparently been quietly shopping itself since May, seemed more than confident about the future.
Nobody can really hold us back from what we want to do and what we want to accomplish.
Or can they? Stay tuned. Well, we still have yet to hear from Backstreet on how they feel about the NSync move, but you do not want to miss our full report on the Backstreet Boys opening night this weekend on 1515 at these times. Still to come, one of the great rock voices of the 90s, Chris Cornell, by taking the top spot, but also by being women in country music who